The school heartthrob once again held a bouquet of roses, making his 99th confession to me. My face flushed red with shyness, and I was just about to say yes. Suddenly, a man in his 30s rushed out from the street corner, viciously snatched the roses, and threw them to the ground. His eyes were bloodshot. "Don't get involved with her. She's just an empty-headed pretty face." He pushed the bookworm holding the books right into the school heartthrob's arms. "A brainy bookworm like this is the perfect match for you." The school heartthrob froze. "Who are you?" "The man. I'm the future you." He turned his head and glared at me fiercely. "Don't seduce the 18-year-old me." On the school playground, Ding Yuan, who was passing by, was suddenly pushed into Lu Yuan's arms. Her face instantly turned bright red, and she was so nervous that she didn't know where to put her hands or feet. I froze. "Is this guy crazy?" The man, his face full of madness, said, "What you should cherish is someone like Ding Yuan. A top student with brains and intelligence." He looked at me, his face filled with disgust. "A brainless fool with nothing but a pretty face like this will only hold back your future." Lu Yuan snapped out of it and quickly stepped forward to protect me. "Who are you? Leave now, or we'll call the police." The man shook his head, a look of disappointment on his face. "You're going to regret this. Don't make the wrong choice." Lu Yuan clearly didn't believe him. Qing Ning was the school beauty, the goddess everyone in the school chased after. How could he possibly regret it? He has had a crush on Xia Qingning for a long time. Lu Yuan firmly shielded me behind him. Ding Yuan stood to the side holding her books, and upon hearing the man's words, her eyes suddenly lit up. The man said with a serious expression, "Whether you believe it or not, I am you from the future. Take a closer look at my face. Don't we look very similar?" I focused my gaze. Indeed, the middle-aged man before me bore an uncanny resemblance to Lu Yuan, as if they were carved from the same mold. Lu Yuan was puzzled, feeling somewhat indecisive. "How is this possible? You're from the future." The man smiled and said, "Yes. I came back just to tell you that you shouldn't choose Xia Qingning. You should choose Ding Yuan." Lu Yuan frowned. "I'm very sure that the person I like is Qingning. Whether you're the future me or some lunatic trying to break us apart, I won't listen to you." Lu Yuan turned around and met my gaze. His eyes were filled with warmth and affection. My heart warmed. Lu Yuan has pursued me for so long, cutting off all the flirtations around him. I believe he is sincere. The man raised an eyebrow at these words, a hint of disdain flashing in his eyes. "Right now, you're only infatuated with her face, her outer appearance. But let me tell you, beauty fades. 10 years from now, Xia Qingning will be no different from those middle-aged women selling vegetables on the street, wrinkled and bloated. Once you get to know her soul, you'll realize she's actually quite worthless and terribly boring." Lu Yuan pursed her lips, looking a bit angry. "Please stop slandering the person I like." Lu Yuan pulled me away, unwilling to continue getting entangled with this lunatic. The man kept chasing after us closely. "You must remember, Ding Yuan is your true match. You two are meant for each other. The compatibility of souls is far more important than appearances. Yuan understands you, knows your needs, and is considerate, gentle, and virtuous. She is the one you should bring home." Lu Yuan covered my ears and whispered softly, "He's just a madman. Don't pay him any mind." I nodded and nestled obediently by his side. Who would believe the words of a random lunatic? The man pursued relentlessly. "By the way, when you were 10, you wet the bed and got a beating from your mom. Back then, to create a chance encounter with Xia Qingning, you deliberately waited downstairs for half a month before finally running into her. And you still stubbornly claimed it was a coincidence. Only you know about these things, right?" Lu Yuan's footsteps halted. These matters, indeed, only he knew about. He turned around for the first time, looking seriously at the man's face. Once the man shaved off the beard on his chin, he seemed to look exactly like him. I feel a bit uneasy. Could there really be two people in the world who look so alike? But Lu Yuan only froze for a moment before quickly putting his arm around me and walking away. Nowadays, crazy people are getting more and more thorough with their investigations. Let's hurry up and leave before we get tangled up. Lu Yuan escorted me back to the classroom. In the past, Lu Yuan would deliberately linger at the classroom door, making small talk and trying to spend as much time with me as possible. But today, he turned around and left. Watching his hurried retreat, I suddenly felt something was off, driven by an inexplicable impulse. I secretly followed him. I found that he went back and found that strange man. The two walked into the small grove and talked for several hours before coming out. I worry that Lu Yuan might have been deceived by that strange man. Who knows if this could be some kind of new scam. The teacher just promoted anti-fraud awareness in class yesterday. As for the words from At man, I don't believe a single one of them, no matter how many times I refused. Lu Yuan stood firmly in front of me, confessing his feelings. He never lets other girls get close to him, and his social circle is very clean. Originally, I felt that high school should focus on academics, so I never planned to be in a relationship. But Lu Yuan's sincerity moved me, so that was just the nonsense of a confused man. I'm not in the same class as Lu Yuan, but our physical education classes overlap. So every time, Lu Yuan would take advantage of PE class to stick by my side. During the afternoon PE class, I waited for him under the big tree as usual, but this time, Lu Yuan didn't come toward me. Instead, he walked right past me and headed straight toward Ding Yuan. Seeing Lu Yuan approaching her, Ding Yuan was both surprised and flustered. She had secretly admired Lu Yuan for a long time. She never imagined that one day Lu Yuan would actually notice her. A nobody. Lu Yuan looked down at her, his voice gentle. Want to team up for volleyball? Ding Yuan glanced at me a few times, her tone somewhat uncertain. Aren't you partnering with classmates today? Since the start of the school year, Lu Yuan has been on the same team as me for every campus activity. Without exception. Lu Yuan frowned. Why do I have to be teamed up with her every time? I'm not her servant. Ding Yuan's face flushed with excitement. Then, will Senior Xia be angry with you? Lu Yuan said coldly. I have nothing to do with her. Why would she be angry? As she spoke, Lu Yuan suddenly wrapped an arm around Ding Yuan's waist. When I heard these words, my eyes welled up with tears. No relationship at all. Then who was the person talking about love with me every day after school? As Lu Yuan walked past me with Ding Yuan in his arms, Ding Yuan's shoulder bumped hard into mine. I gasped. That hurts. Ding Yuan's eyes were defiant, yet her tone was panicked, as if I had scared her out of her wits. Sorry. I didn't mean to. Lu Yuan glanced at me impatiently. No need to apologize to her. She likes to make a fuss over the slightest scratch or bump. But there's actually nothing wrong at all. My eyes reddened, and my heart ached with bitterness. Last time, I accidentally cut my hand with a pencil sharpener, and Lu Yuan panicked, carrying me in her arms all the way to the infirmary. The school doctor looked helpless. If you had run any slower, her wound would have healed by now. The boy's face flushed with shyness, his eyes full of affection. I don't want to lose, nor do I want others to see my embarrassment. Holding back tears, I teamed up with the other girls. Suddenly, as I bent down to tie my shoelaces, a volleyball flew out from the court. Bang! It hit me squarely on the head. I immediately saw stars and collapsed to the ground. At that moment, Ding Yuan came running over, her eyes red, as if she were the one who got hit. Sorry. The volleyball somehow flew out of nowhere. Even though she said sorry, she didn't even bother to help me up. She watched me lying there ungracefully on the ground with ill intent. All sorts of embarrassing scenes unfolded. A female classmate from the same class couldn't stand it and stepped forward to scold her. What are you pretending for? Even a blind person could tell you did it on purpose. Exactly. The ball just happened to land on Qingning's head. And with such force, who would believe it wasn't intentional? Oh dear, the volleyball suddenly flew out for some reason. What's up? If you didn't hit it, does it have some special ability? Ding Yuan was scared to tears, covering her eyes. But I really don't know what happened. Lu Yuan chased after her and saw me lying on the ground, not even raising an eyebrow. Instead, he shielded Ding Yuan behind him. Don't cry. I'm here. Everyone was stunned. If they remembered correctly, it seemed that Lu Yuan and Xia Qingning were the couple. They've done everything except make it official. Ding Yuan threw herself into Lu Yuan's arms, sobbing softly. Whoa, I really don't know what happened. The ball was completely out of control. I really didn't mean it. Why is everyone blaming me? Lu Yuan frowned with concern. But when she turned to look at me, her eyes were filled with indifference. Xia Qingning. Do you really have to bully a little girl? I was stunned. Me, bullying her. But it was clearly me who fell. I'm the one who got hurt. Lu Yuan's expression was cold. Yuan is a delicate, bookish girl who gets out of breath after just a few steps of running. How much force could she possibly put into throwing a ball? On the other hand, you don't study at all, spending all your time playing around outside, with such quick reflexes. How could you suddenly get knocked down by a ball? Lu Yuan's words seemed to imply that I was deliberately framing Ding Yuan. Faced with his questioning, my eyes welled up with tears. Are you saying that I intentionally wanted to frame her? Lu Yuan frowned impatiently. Isn't it? Since you and I aren't officially together, that doesn't make us a couple. I have the right to pursue other girls. Stop playing those petty jealousy games. I still prefer the simple you from before. Hearing his words about the right to pursue other girls, Ding Yuan blushed with shame. Is this a way of pursuing her? She snuggled in Lu Yuan's arms, looking at me with a hint of hidden jealousy and smugness in her eyes. The first time I noticed Lu Yuan was when he was squatting downstairs feeding the cats. The sunlight bathed the young man, as if filled with warmth and divinity. The kitten was rolling and acting spoiled at its feet. That scene struck my heart. From then on, I could accidentally run into Lu Yuan downstairs every day. Although my grades weren't good, I still did my best to study and didn't want to fall in love in high school. Lu Yuan clings to me like a stubborn ghost every day, confessing his feelings to me once a day. I know I'm very beautiful. The school bell, and all those suitors come because of my looks. After my cold rejections, they never bothered me again. Only Lu Yuan has persisted without giving up. In front of him, I can be crazy and carefree, without worrying about my image at all. He personally told me, what I've always liked is not your face, but the shape of your soul. I love the strands of hair you tuck behind your ears when doing homework. Love your playful way of stepping on shadows at sunset. Curious about why you've watched the movie Sweet Sweet dozens of times and which song is on repeat. Love your sharp-edged temperament. I was originally planning to officially accept Lu Yuan's proposal today. Lu Yuan looked at me still slumped on the floor, a hint of impatience flickering between her brows. How much longer are you planning on pretending? I struggled to get up, but my head was really too dizzy, and my vision went black, seeing me not moving for a long time. Lu Yuan curled his lips coldly. I thought you wouldn't resort to scheming, but pretending to be pitiful doesn't work on me. Lu Yuan pulled Ding Yuan's hand and left without looking back. As Ding Yuan passed by me, she whispered, actually, I think that man was right. Maybe you should read more books. Xia. Instead of dressing so provocatively all day, what's the use of being pretty? With an empty head and no common topics to share, Yuan actually finds you quite annoying, doesn't she? Ah, I didn't mean to scold you. I was just worried about you. Lu Yuan clearly heard it, yet he didn't utter a single word in rebuttal. In the end, it was a kind-hearted female classmate who helped me up. Qing Ning, don't be too upset. Maybe Lu Yuan is just playing around, but deep down he still cares about you. Look, he's been chasing you for so long everyone knows you two are a couple. Another classmate beside them spat in disdain. I don't think Lu Yuan is even worthy of you. You're the school beauty, so stunning that your admirers could line up all the way to France. Who does he think he is? I looked up at their retreating figures. Lu Yuan held Ding Yuan's hand, their fingers intertwined. I want to ask what that man said to Lu Yuan that day, but for several days in a row, I couldn't see Lu Yuan. He never appeared again at the places we used to frequent together. I went to his classroom to find him, and he always had Ding Yuan held in his arms, whispering sweet nothings without parting. Finally, one day after school, I saw him and that strange man enter a narrow alley. I secretly followed them. Adult Lu Yuan put his arm around young Lu Yuan's shoulder and teased with a smile. Not bad, right? Isn't Ding Yuan much gentler and more virtuous than Xia Qingning? She never loses her temper with you and always goes along with whatever you say. Lu Yuan nodded. Indeed, Yuan is nothing like Qingning. She's not at all fussy or overly sentimental. She always considers my needs, speaks in a way that's incredibly comforting, even helps me with my homework, and brings me lovingly prepared bento boxes. In comparison, Qingning truly has nothing but a pretty face, with no redeeming qualities. I covered my mouth, letting the tears flow. The adult Lu Yuan patted his shoulder with relief. A confidant like Ding Yuan is your true match. Don't let Xia Qingning's face fool you. After she gives birth, she'll become really ugly and sloppy. And she'll get angry with you over the slightest thing. Lu Yuan hesitated for a moment. Finally, he nodded. Okay. Lu Yuan was a bit curious. What was it like after Qingning and I got married? Adult Lu Yuan curled his lips. Not great. To you. She was no different from a burden. Her family background is ordinary. Her career is ordinary, just a regular white-collar worker at a small company, earning a fixed salary. She couldn't offer you any help at all. After she got pregnant, she quit her job, saying she wanted to focus on raising the baby. But in reality, she just wanted to stay at home and not work. She had no intention of sharing the load with you. And all the household expenses were shouldered by you alone. Lu Yuan frowned in confusion. Qingning. She doesn't work. The adult Lu Yuan nodded with disgust. Yes. As useless as a daughter flower. But Ding Yuan is different. She is smart and intelligent. Got into the best university in the country. Worked at the most prestigious law firm nationwide. And has a successful career. Most importantly, she treats you well. Cares about you. And is considerate. She pursued you from freshman year all the way until you got married and had children. Never giving up for over a decade. This is what true, loyal, and pure love really is. Lu Yuan nodded thoughtfully. It seems that's the case. I always feel very comfortable when I'm with Yuan. She never makes me feel the slightest bit unhappy. But when I'm with Qingning, it's always me who has to coax her. It's as if I have no man's dignity at all. I hid in the corner, not daring to make a sound. Only then did I realize how heavy Lu Yuan's pride was. Apologizing to me a few times means losing face. Adult Lu Yuan nodded in approval. This time, I made a special trip back through time just to remind you not to take the wrong path. When you finally made up your mind to get a divorce at the age of 30 and pursue freedom, Xia Qingning forced you with the child, clinging to you like a madwoman, refusing to let go. As for Ding Yuan, she's been single for over a decade, always waiting for you. Lu Yuan looked up in shock. She never had a boyfriend. Adult Lu Yuan nodded solemnly, a look of emotion on her face. Not only that, Ding Yuan has even kept her virginity for you to this day. I know. I don't need to ask anymore. Lu Yuan's heart is no longer with me at all. I walked home in a daze. I cried my heart out and swore that the next day I would completely forget him. No more contact. The next day, Lu Yuan made a grand confession to Ding Yuan in front of the entire shu. Dressed in a suit and holding a large bouquet of red roses. He gazed affectionately at Ding Yuan. Yuan, would you like to be with me? Ding Yuan stomped her feet in embarrassment and threw herself into Lu Yuan's arms. How can I do this in front of so many people? I'm shy. The crowd's teasing continued without end. Especially Lu Yuan's brothers. Sister-in-law. Sister-in-law. Hello, sister-in-law. Ding Yuan was beaming with joy. She never would have imagined that she, an ordinary girl, she's not only clueless about studying, but also has poor social skills. She actually managed to snatch Lu Yuan away from the school beauty Xia Qingning. Doesn't that just prove she's better than Xia Qingning? Otherwise, why would Lu Yuan choose her over Xia Qingning? Ding Yuan's gaze fell upon my chest. Her eyes filled with contempt. Brains are what matter. Big chest. Empty head. Ding Yuan was lost in the cheers of Lu Yuan's brothers. Unable to extricate herself, Lu Yuan gazed at her with tender affection. She had always been the plain, unremarkable duckling growing up. But for the first time, she was receiving so much attention. The female classmates in her class now regarded her with newfound respect. Even the cliques she had never been able to fit into before now welcomed her with ease. The feeling of having every move draw everyone's attention is utterly captivating. It made her unable to extricate herself, feeling deeply embarrassed under Ding Yuan's gaze. I clenched my fists and walked back to the classroom. Isn't it just studying? I can do it too. From that day on, I studied diligently, staying up late every night to review, never missing a day. Not even on rest days. My classmates were all amazed, saying it was as if I had become a different person. All my previous lazy habits completely disappeared. I threw away all the hair accessories and jewelry I used to love wearing. Every day, I buried myself in studying at my desk, working tirelessly from dawn till dusk. A month later, the results of the mock exams were released. I stood in front of the bulletin board, searching for my ranking. My fingers scrolled down row by row, and finally, at the 325th spot, I found my name. There's improvement in the last mock exam. My ranking was over 400 in the entire school. That's a solid improvement of more than 100 places. Just then, a sudden snicker came from behind me. Ding Yuan covered her mouth and giggled. After watching you work so hard for a month, I thought you'd be amazing, but you're only ranked over 300. Give it up. You're just not cut out for studying. You might as well drop out early and go work. Oh wait, Noyori the school beauty. How could you endure the hardship of a job? It couldn't be. Ding Yuan drew out her final syllable, a mischievous grin spreading across her face. You're not thinking of getting yourself kept by some big boss, are you? That'd be living off your looks. Huh? Ding Yuan's gaze toward me was laced with a hidden jealousy. What good is Xia Qingning's great figure when Lu Yuan still prefers the smart version of her? Ding Yuan's eyes gleamed with malice. Big bosses love playing with women like you, but they'd never marry a brainless bimbo like you. You're destined to be unwanted by any man. I noticed that Ding Yuan had shiny manicured nails and wasn't wearing her school uniform, but instead a light blue dress. This was something she would never have done before. I sneered. Whether I do well in exams or whether any man wants me, what business is it of yours? Didn't you say brains are the most important thing? Now I'm following your advice and burying myself in my studies. But you're unhappy about it. What a double standard. Ding Yuan curled her lips. I'm advising you to drop out and work early for your own good. How could someone with a brain like yours ever make sense of studying? Exams require talent. Take me. For example, I am always in the top 10 of my grade. What do you have to compete with me? I raised an eyebrow. Really? But this time you only got 10th place, while last time you were second in the whole school. Ding Yuan's face showed a hint of annoyance. Still better than you. What right does someone at the bottom have to criticize me? This time I was just careless and made a few more mistakes. But next time I'll easily get back on top. You're not jealous that Yuan chose me instead of you, are you? Suddenly, Ding Yuan's peripheral vision seemed to catch something. She tripped over her own feet and fell to the ground, with a look of grievance. She covered her scraped knee. Why did you push me? Her gaze was accusatory, pitiful and pleading. Is it just because Yi chose me? Would you not let go of anyone who takes Lu Yi away from you? But Yi is an independent individual. He is not your possession. I had no interest in watching her self-directed drama, so I turned and walked away, not wanting to engage. The very next second, Lu Yuan suddenly rushed out from behind me. Without a moment's hesitation, he shoved me aside, and I stumbled onto the edge of the bulletin board, completely bewildered. I asked with a face full of question marks, Lu Yuan, are you too sick or what? Lu Yuan nervously held Ding Yuan in his arms, blowing on her knee, which only had a tiny scratch on the surface. Are you okay? Does it hurt? I'll carry you to the infirmary right away. Seeing this despicable couple, I rolled my eyes hard. I no longer have any feelings for Lu Yuan. I was just going downstairs to check the rankings on my way, but this crazy couple insisted on sticking to me. I rubbed my sore back. ready to leave. I really didn't want to keep talking to this pair of seemingly brainless men and women anymore. But Lu Yuan grabbed me, refusing to let me go. Let go, I said coldly, staring at him. Lu Yuan looked at me as if I were a stranger. Just because I chose Yuan, you're deliberately targeting her like this. We're not a couple. And even if we were, we've already broken up. What right do you have to control who the women around me are? The future me was right after all. You really are unreasonable and domineering, with nothing to offer besides your looks. A person like you, who would even want you? Men will just get tired of you and throw you away. I looked at him in disbelief. I thought that even if Lu Yuan didn't love me, the heartfelt conversations we shared day and night weren't fake. I thought he at least saw me as a human being. But now he could say something so insulting. Ding Yuan tugged at the corner of his clothes. Don't blame her. Girls can be that jealous. After all, I did take you away from her. So it's only natural for classmate Xia to be jealous of me. I just didn't expect her to push me on purpose. Maybe she's a bit upset seeing my grades are better than hers. I'm fine. Don't blame her. Lu Yuan turned to look at the grade list on the bulletin board. One was in 10th place. The other was beyond 300th place. Lu Yuan was instantly convinced. He looked at me with disgust. Do you think hurting Yuan on purpose will make me come back to you? Dream on. Xia Qingning. What I despise most is how you use that innocent face to seduce me. You're a student, not the kind of girl working in a club. Can't you act decent? No wonder you pushed Yuan on purpose. You're jealous that she's smarter than you and has better grades, aren't you? I couldn't believe my ears. Is this something a human being could say? My face has looked like this since I was a child. How could it be considered intentionally seducing him? I was so angry that my teeth chattered, unable to utter a complete sentence. I can only defend myself with action. I drive my arm with my waist. I swing it fiercely. With lightning speed, I strike Lu Yuan's chin with a punch. Get lost. You think I'd even look at you? Lu Yuan was knocked to the ground by a punch. And Ding Yuan screamed as she rushed forward. A help. Murder. Lu Yuan brushed her hand away, casually touching his chin. I'm fine. He stared at me darkly. Fine. Just be this heartless. And don't you dare cling to me. You disgust me. As if to show off to me, or to comfort the injured Ding Yuan. The two of them almost flaunt their affection on social media every day. They either post photos of holding hands or photos of kissing. A group of people commented 99 underneath. Hello, big brother. Hello, big sister-in-law. I snickered. Good thing I didn't end up with Lu Yuan. His friends were way too cringy. But Ding Yuan seemed to absolutely adore this kind of being put on a pedestal feeling. I also noticed in the group photo posted by Ding Yuan that her chest was bulging and had become unusually large. I was puzzled. Wasn't she flat-chested just a few days ago? So, while she looks down on me verbally, saying I'm all boobs and no brains, so you secretly raised your grade to AD. I was speechless for a moment. Perhaps Ding Yuan relied on her intelligence and good academic performance. So now she's slacking off. The two of them often skip class to go out and have fun. And she's nowhere to be seen in the study room anymore. I don't understand. The college entrance exam is almost here. Wouldn't it be better to save all the fun for after the exam? Why do you have to go crazy and play around during this time? Even when I used to hang out with Lu Yuan, I never skipped classes or played hooky. At most, we would just go on dates after school or on weekends. We never did anything beyond that. Is it possible that Ding Yuan is too confident in her own grades, feeling that she can do well on the exam without reviewing? I directly blocked both of their social media feeds. Anyway, I'm focused on preparing for the college entrance exam now. And they can do whatever they want. None of my business. On the way home from school, I saw the adult Lu Yuan squatting at the entrance of the alley that I had to pass on my way home. I kept my eyes straight ahead, ready to walk around him and leave. Unexpectedly, he swung his foot sideways, blocking my path. I said angrily, "Congratulations. You've successfully torn us apart. Your goal has been achieved. So stop bothering me now." Okay. Hearing this, the adult Lu Yuan's brows and eyes lit up with delight. Successfully torn apart. Are you sure there's no chance of getting back together? The kind of breakup where you'll never look back. 100. I stomped hard on the foot he had stretched out in front of me. Yes. I'd rather be with no man on earth than with you. Your fate has been successfully changed. Are you happy now? The adult Lu Yuan laughed with an unusually cheerful expression. His mouth wide open. You better remember what you said today. Don't ever come looking for me again. Or I'll definitely look down on you. Xia Qingning. I sneered. Don't worry. I would never be interested in someone like you. You're disgusting. All the sincerity I gave you before was wasted on you. You're just a bastard in human skin. Worse than pigs or dogs. The adult Lu Yuan raised an eyebrow, completely unfazed by the remark. Go ahead and curse me out. I don't care. He grinned mischievously. Looks like you started studying hard after splitting from the younger me. How are your grades? I fell silent. None of your damn business. I used to be a total slacker, with an average IQ at best. No matter how hard you study now, it's impossible to make a comeback and get into Tsinghua or Peking University. Adult Lu Yuan chuckled. Ranked 325th last month. 292nd this month. You could call it progress. But with only a few months left until the college entrance exam, no matter how big the improvement, it's too late. At best, you'll only get into a bottom-tier second-rate university. TSK. 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 My pupils contracted. You went to school to sneak a look at my report card. Are you out of your mind? We've already broken up. Why are you still clinging to me? You creep. Lu Yuan shrugged. Anyway, once I travel back in time, the future will change, and we'll never cross paths again. So what's the harm in being a little curious about your grades? I rolled my eyes hard. Oh, you think your grades are good? Did you even look at your own results? Dropping from over 400th place to over 500th, what a loser. Ah. Seeing the adult Lu Yuan's indifferent demeanor, I grew suspicious. Why do you seem completely unconcerned about yourself? Did you memorize the college entrance exam questions and plan to secretly send them to your past self? I was startled. If you dare to do that, I'll call and report a college entrance exam leak right away. Didn't even think about it. The adult Lu Yuan said helplessly. Don't worry. I don't have the brains for that. I can't remember the questions at all. I curled my lip. Then you're really stupid. You went through all that trouble to come back, just to stop me from being with you. Isn't it more important for you to get into Tsinghua or Peking University yourself? Lu Yuan laughed. In the future, Ding Yuan will be a big-name lawyer. If I'm with her, I'll have so much money I won't know what to spend it on. Grades and stuff don't matter at all. Do you think I care about a useless diploma? In the future, college graduates will be everywhere. A dime a dozen. Completely worthless. I replied coldly. Oh, then go find someone to latch onto. You deadbeat. I slung my backpack over my shoulder and walked straight ahead. Not wanting to waste any more words with him, the adult Lu Yuan chased after me from behind, shouting, I've already gotten what I wanted, so don't you dare shamelessly come crawling back. Ding Yuan is my true love. So don't cling to me, don't love you at all. I didn't even bother to respond. Who would want to waste time on someone like that? Adult Lu Yuan kept shouting. If time is running out, don't stubbornly force yourself down the path of being a top student. Why not try the art college entrance exam instead? The admission scores are much lower. This sentence successfully made me turn around in surprise. You're being this kind. Lu Yuan smiled very happily. Anyway, I've already successfully changed my future. Not having to be with you, this old hag, is beyond joyful. Giving you a bit of advice isn't out of the question. After all, we met once. I'm not that heartless of a person. Oh, by the way, this is the last time you'll ever see me. The time has come. I have to leave tonight, heading toward that bright future. Without you, my life will surely be completely transformed. Adult Lu Yuan's radiant smile pierced my eyes. I sneered. That's not necessarily true. Adult Lu Yuan waved at me, her steps unusually light as she walked away. This time, it will definitely be different. I held my breath, unwilling to be looked down upon by that pair of scumbags. But I have to admit, in just a few short months, I truly couldn't turn things around like the female lead in a TV drama. Suddenly, I thought of the suggestion made by the adult Lu Yuan. Why not give the art exam a try? But I never learned to sing, and I can't dance either, so I simply signed up for the modeling major. Anyway, I'm tall, so it should be fine. Right. As soon as the interviewers saw me, they immediately frowned. You're not suited to be a model. I sighed and prepared to go to the second school for the interview. I knew it. The top art university in Haicheng wouldn't be that easy to get into. Maybe I should just go back and focus on studying hard. The interviewer looked pleasantly surprised. You should go into acting. Your face would be explosive on the big screen. All the audience would fall in love with you. Me. Huh. I was exceptionally admitted to the modeling major by the interview teacher, who told me to transfer to the acting department as soon as the semester started. You're definitely going to be famous. Believe me. The interview teacher held on to me and wouldn't let go. You absolutely must come to our school. My college entrance exam scores were decent. After a final push, I scored over 400 points and was admitted to Haicheng Drama Academy. As soon as I graduated, I blocked Lu Yuan and Ding Yuan, as well as Lu Yuan's brothers. I had absolutely no desire to have any connection with those lunatics. But since the two of them were prominent figures at school, they still attracted a lot of attention, even after I deleted them. I still heard rumors about them from time to time during college. I heard that Ding Yuan failed the college entrance exam in the last few months, relying on her solid foundation. She spent all her time outside having fun with Lu Yuan, and Lu Yuan firmly believed that Ding Yuan would have a very successful future. Thinking it was fine to play for 2 months, the two of them seemed completely unaware of the world around them. As a result, they were brought back to reality as soon as the college entrance exam ended. Ding Yuan only scored a little over 500 points, just barely above the first-tier university admission line. She could only apply to the lowest-ranked schools among ordinary first-tier universities, unable to even secure a spot in popular majors. Lu Yuan had it even worse with his original scores. He might have barely made it into a vocational college. But now, he couldn't even meet the requirements for a vocational college. And no school would accept him at all. I started working right after graduation, with Lu Yuan's face, being young, and having once been voted school heartthrob. If he were willing to swallow his pride and become a model in a big city, he might have made hundreds of thousands or even millions. But he had long been swept off his feet by Ding Yuan, pampered and comfortable under her care, making him lower himself to serve others. That would simply be killing him. Moreover, Lu Yuan felt that this was just one failure in the college entrance exam. Ding Yuan was so smart that she would surely become a great lawyer at a law firm in the future. Even if Ding Yuan didn't get into Tsinghua this time, she had still chosen a law major at a second-tier university. So she was bound to succeed. Relying on his foreknowledge, Lu Yuan simply didn't bother to try. He firmly believed that the Ding Yuan he had chosen was destined to be a standout among her peers. As soon as school started, following the teacher's advice, I transferred to the performance department. When the director came to the school for casting, he noticed me at first glance. I was inexplicably pulled into the crew. Although it was only a small role, the show became a hit. And I suddenly gained a bit of fame. Scripts were handed to me one after another. No matter how big or small the role, I give my all to every single one. Slowly, I began to accumulate more and more fans. I wasn't a good actor at first, and I often got criticized. There were hate posts about me all over the internet. But because of my exceptionally stunning and striking looks, I also had a loyal group of diehard fans who firmly stood by me. I refused to be just a pretty face. Just thinking about that pair of scumbags makes me furious. Lu Yuan thought he was so great. I'm definitely going to be better than both of them. So I calmed down and honed my acting skills. From being called a pretty face actress at the start, to standing on the world stage with a gold award in hand 10 years later, there were no more doubts from below. I brought back another gold award and wrapped up an advertising shoot at the same time. My agent mercifully told me to take a break and not work non-stop like a workaholic. Coincidentally, A high school classmate sent me an invitation to a high school reunion. It's been so long since we last met. Why not go and see? Everyone was overjoyed to see that I was willing to come. A classmate of mine has become a global superstar. Someone I could never meet in person on a regular day. And now they're actually willing to attend. I happily chatted with my classmates about the gossip from back then. The female classmate who helped me back then looked at me with envy. You're so beautiful. You really should have become a star. Your aura is just amazing. Thank goodness I wasn't held back by that despicable couple back then. Speak of the devil. And he appears. The door of the private room opened. And Lu Yuan tiptoed in, holding a glass of red wine. The moment he saw me, his eyes lit up. Qingning. Long time no see. Lu Yuan was no longer young. His face full of weariness. And he had grown stout and overweight. I didn't say anything. Lu Yuan continued talking on his own. Actually, not long after, I regretted it. I wanted to go find you, but you had blocked all of us and changed your number. No one knows where you've gone. I've looked everywhere. Lu Yuan smiled, putting on a suave and carefree demeanor, and clinked her wine glass with mine. Cheers, to the reunion of our youth. I pushed the wine glass away in disdain. You don't need to pull that with me. What youth do we have? We just talked a bit by the curb. That's all. Now. Your youth with Ding Yuan, that was a love story burning bright and fierce. Lu Yuan's face froze. I thought our heartfelt late-night conversations were real. I sneered, thinking of cheating again. Lu Yuan shook his head, gazing at me with an inexplicably affectionate look. I was so creeped out that goosebumps rose all over me, and I secretly used my phone to call my agent to come pick me up quickly. Lu Yuan's eyes sparkled. You still care about me? Don't worry. I broke up with Ding Yuan a long time ago. Me. When mentioning Ding Yuan, Lu Yuan's eyes were full of disdain. It was all that future me's wicked idea. He tricked me. Ding Yuan never became some top-notch lawyer. To stop me from breaking up, she went behind my back and had the child. I had to work to support the two of them. I told her to go to work, but she refused, saying I should fulfill my fatherly responsibilities. But I never wanted that child in the first place. I think an independent woman like you is the one I truly love. I've only ever loved you from start to finish. I was just deceived back then. Lu Yuan grew more and more agitated as he spoke, gradually moving closer and closer. He gripped my hand tightly, refusing to let go. The last time I confessed to you, I clearly saw you nod. You agreed back then, didn't you? Now I've already broken up with Ding Yuan. Let's start over. Okay. Lu Chen looked at me with eyes full of affection, a twisted adoration burning in them. I have so many photos of you saved on my phone. I've been keeping an eye on you all these years. I know. You actually can't forget me either, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have deliberately blocked me. Hearing this, I almost threw up. Now, Lu Yuan is bald, overweight, out of shape, with a greasy and oily face. Where on earth does he get his confidence from? Just thinking about how I used to like him makes me feel disgusted. My agent, upon receiving my message, rushed in immediately. He surrounded me with bodyguards and started leading me away. Unrelated people, step aside. Lu Yuan was pushed away, and he still wanted to chase after me, but the bodyguards firmly blocked him outside. Don't stop me. My relationship with Qingning is special. The agent was startled by this madman and quickly escorted me away. It wasn't until I got home that I finally breathed a sigh of relief. But thinking about Lu Yuan I saw today, I felt something was off. He's only 29. How did he already get so out of shape? Then why was the adult version of Lu Yuan, who traveled back from high school, so handsome? Has Ding Yuan been taking such poor care of him all these years? I shook my head. Never mind. I don't want to think about it. Anyway, they'll never be able to get close to me in this lifetime. Side story of Lu Yuan as an adult. Opening my eyes. Adult Lu Yuan was back in her own future. He tricked everyone. In fact, he wasn't Lu Yuan from the future. He was Lu Yuan's son. Lu Chen. He truly hadn't lied after his mother got together with Lu Yuan. She had to take care of him when he was still a child and couldn't go to work. But is this what Mom really wanted? Lu Yuan never took care of the household, watching her hungry child. Mom had no choice but to quit her job and stay home to raise him. If she had a choice, why would Mom give up a promising career to become a stay-at-home mom? Mom managed the entire household, and her body gradually grew heavier under the strain of daily labor. She had no money for cosmetics, and her face was covered in wrinkles. Her former figure was gone, and she had become no different from the aunties on the street. Lu Yuan only gave 1,000 yuan to the family each month and took no other responsibilities. He was raised by his mother from a young age. When he was 10 years old, Lu Yuan cheated. He thought his mother was ugly. The person he had an affair with was none other than Ding Yuan. Ding Yuan had indeed become a prominent lawyer. To Ding Yuan, Lu Yuan was the unattainable first love from high school, naturally carrying a layer of idealized charm. To Lu Yuan, Ding Yuan was now capable and alluring, far surpassing the frumpy wife at home. And she was also incredibly wealthy. They hit it off instantly, like a match to dry tinder. Lu Yuan openly brought Ding Yuan home to fool around, nearly giving his mother a stroke from anger. Ding Yuan looked down on his mother with a condescending gaze. Thought the campus belle was something special. But she's nothing much. Can't even keep a man. What a joke. If Lu Yuan had parted ways with his mother amicably, that would have been one thing. But he joined forces with Ding Yuan and used underhanded tactics to drive his mother away, forcing her to leave with nothing. Ding Yuan, being a lawyer, manipulated many things behind the scenes. His mother didn't get a single cent. She still had to make a living while taking care of her young child. But that house was clearly bought with Mom's savings. Yet in the end, it fell into Lu Yuan's hands. Lu Yuan lived it up, treating Ding Yuan to lavish meals and drinks, without paying a single cent in child support. Mom's back grew more hunched, and her head hung lower and lower. Lu Chen once asked his mother if she regretted giving birth to him. Without him as a burden, she would surely have been much happier. But his mother shook her head and said, "What I regret is being with that scumbag. But I have never once regretted giving birth to you. You will always be Mom's most beloved child." Lu Chen secretly vowed that once he became an adult, he would work tirelessly to earn money and make sure his mother lived a good life. But on the day he brought home his Tsinghua University admission letter, he discovered that his mother had committed suicide. She left only a suicide note. The note said she had an illness that would cost a lot of money to treat, and she didn't want to burden her son. She left behind 23,561 yuan. Lu Chen went mad, ready to kill that pair of dogs, until heaven gave him a chance to travel back to the past. He saw his mother when she was young, so healthy, so radiant. She held her head so high. Lu Chen's tears fell instantly. This time, he was determined to change his fate. If his mother could be happy, it wouldn't matter if he never came into this world. The moment Lu Chen returned, he realized his body was gradually fading away. He knew he had succeeded. The photo of his mother he had been holding in his hands had vanished. Lu Chen looked up and gazed out the window, where the streets were filled with massive billboards featuring Xia Qingning. His mother's smile was radiant and full of life. This was the last glimpse of the world he ever saw. "Mom. My mom."